I want to roll in, guys. I'm fired up to have this next couple share with you. They've done an amazing job. They're 6 stars. But as Kim says so often, I hear Kim and Samson and Holly and Corbin and so many great leaders. Leadership's just it's so much more than just a title or rank. I don't think there's anybody in this room that in 5th grade said, I can't wait to be in network marketing as an adult so I can be a grand poopah, triple blue, ruby, big papa, sapphire, right? That never happened. For me, the rank, though, one of the things that is so important is it signifies their leadership and the sacrifices they've made, but more importantly, the number of people they've helped. I'd love in the future to have 5-star. Here's their organization. Here's how many people have retired from their job, also known as jump out of bed or just over broke, right? This couple's gone out. They ripped up the excuses. They built an amazing team. They built a team that loves what they're doing, they've lit a fire is what they've done. They've gone out and lit fire after fire and chased those fires that started in Jacksonville and spread into Georgia and spread into North Carolina and spread all the way to the Dakotas and spread all over the U.S. because of their belief, their commitment, and because they're relentless. And as Ricky says, they're obsessed. It's past relentless. I want you guys to put your hands together for 6-star directors, Ricky and Francoise Untermeyer.
We will fall together. I got you, my brother. I see you, my sister. When we rise, we will rise together.
Together with our differences, together we are bolder, braver, stronger.
3 family, how are you? Hey, if I could have put everybody's face in the crowd and together, I would have. Because it takes all of us to do this together, right? To go out and impact millions and billions of lives across this world, right? So, first off, that Jesus Christ put us together. And I have to always give him thanks because we wouldn't be here. He sent out 2 by 2 for a reason. So they wouldn't be isolated. They would be together. So as we deliver this message today, we have to thank him also for this wonderful, wonderful family that we have. We absolutely love you guys. You're the reason that we keep on relentlessly going because we want you to have the very taste of what we have. You're all of our hearts as we stand here today. And also some of our best friends, Corbin and Holly Roush. They've watched us join this as babies and kind of grow up. We're still kind of getting our diapers off, but we're doing. But also Daniel PQ and corporate staff. We love Daniel. His heart is amazing. We couldn't do this without him. Actually, it was very easy to say yes to 3 because we know this man's heart for people. And then also I got to thank my beautiful bride, my queen, my everything. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be a quarter of the man I am today if I wasn't with you. So as we start this awesome time we get to spend with you, she is the shining light on this team. I haven't seen too many people with her gifts and talents, and today she's going to start it off.
All right, thank you, baby. Well, everyone, how are you guys doing? Yeah, you're good? Oh, well, I'm always very blessed to be on this stage and represent this company. So my question to you is, have you ever walked into a room and just felt like you didn't belong? Or maybe been in a group full of people, sitting at a table and just felt like you were invisible? And you think, why bother? Why do I even try? I don't fit in. C3, for my husband and I, it's just not about sharing the most amazing products on the planet. It's about building a community of acceptance, growth, prosperity, and freedom in every area of your life. And so 2 weeks ago, when we were asked to speak today, they said, please share how you've been able to create such a strong team and a strong culture. And so it was important to me not just to share what we do, because the actions, home meetings, yes, they're super important. Zooms, connect calls, these are things we do every single day, but it's not enough. If you want to build something strong, it has to be on a foundation. And I believe culture is a huge part of foundation. And so when I think of culture, I think of a feeling. Do you guys think of a feeling when you think of culture? Yes? So what I would like to do is I would like to start off by just sharing and showing you a video so you could feel what we'll be sharing with you today.
I'll be the last one standing.
What are we waiting for?
Two hands in the air, I'm a champion. The battle, I'm a soldier. Yeah, I'm a fighter like.
Against the crisis seals, we've just one life to live, and no one knows what happens next. So what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Why are we wasting all the time like someone's making more? What are we praying for? What are we saving for? What if we could be the light that no one could ignore? What
Unbreakable, unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down, I get up again. I am the champion. You don't know the name, you can't hurt me now. I can't feel the pain. I was made for this, yeah, I was born to win. I am the champion.
We've just one life to live, and no one knows what happens next. No. So what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Why are we wasting all the time like someone's making more? What are we praying for? What are we saving for? What if we could be the light that no one could ignore? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Love better and you love better. Our love will live on forever.
I've been waiting my whole life to see my name in lights. I am invincible, unbreakable, unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down, I get up again.
Someone's wasting more. What are we praying for? What are we saving for? What if we could be the light that no one could ignore? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for?
That's the question God has for you today. What are you waiting for? You know, if a high school dropout and a wife that grew up below the poverty line can go out and create something, anyone here can. And that's my question today is for you. What are you waiting for? We start in our backyard with this division. And that's what we're going to continue to do, right?
That's right. All right, so what I would like to do is,
Oh, I got this thing. Sorry.
Thank you. He is the clicker this time. I usually have the clicker. So today I would like to just start off by talking about the components, the highlights of what it really takes to create a culture. Because like I said, the culture is the foundation. And the first thing, and I think is one of the most important, is vision. And all of successful men and women, they're dreamers, right? And I believe one of the most powerful visionaries of them all was Michelangelo, the sculptor. And when he was asked to create the David, he searched the streets of Florence for 2 years to find the perfect stone. And for 4 years, he chiseled, he hammered, he sculpted, he polished to create this vision that he's seen in his mind. And on the day when the day came for the unveil, right? People gathered from all over the world. And at this time, he was already famous as a sculptor. And when they came and they saw what he created, it was a beautiful masterpiece. People were in awe. And it's so powerful. And so when they asked him, how did you create this? How did you create something so beautiful? You know what he said? I saw David complete and perfect in the marble. And all I had to do was to remove everything that wasn't David. Talk about vision. He saw it in that stone in its entirety. So is your vision something you can see that clear? Because vision is so important. When Ricky and I first got started on our vision when it was conceived, it was in 2015. We were actually walking the beaches of Fiji on a trip together. And we were just like, man, how can we do this more? How can we do something together, right? How can we have time freedom to travel and make residual income? On that day, our dream was conceived. And we went searching the streets. We went looking for something because we saw it entirely in our mind. And throughout the years, there's been obstacles, there's been difficulties, all the things. But we held our vision because we seen what we wanted to create, that masterpiece. And so is your vision that clear? Because if you don't have vision clearly on the inside, it will never show up on the outside, because what you see on the inside eventually comes on the outside. So vision is one of the #1 things if you want to be successful. And if you don't even know how to create that vision, start journaling. Dare to dream. Just take out every obstacle in your mind. If you could have any life you wanted to have, without any fear, without any worry, without anything that anyone could say to you that would deter you from your dream, just write it down. That's how you start, and let God work through.
Absolutely. So the next one's excitement. Excitement's contagious, right? As you watch that video, you got excited. And, the first meeting we had at Colleen's, there was only like 10 people there. Guess what? We videoed it. We didn't video it to go out and recruit people for ourselves. We videoed it to show action, but also to get other people to see what she just said, the vision, that we were going to go create something massive. So what we try to do is have an environment of fun, but also create excitement. Excitement breeds what? Passion. And when you get passion, you become unstoppable. And the next one is integrity.
Yes, integrity is very important. All relationships, the glue that holds a relationship is trust, respect, all of these things, right? And so when I think of integrity, these are a couple of sayings that I just really love. Do what you say and say what you do. Have you guys heard that one? I think that's a really powerful thing to live by. And the truth is good enough. And like you watch that video, it's kind of like social media, right? You're like, oh my gosh, all the highs. Well, I have to tell you, our team is not perfect, right? We have things that happen all the time, but it's how we handle it. It's how we respect each other, right? Do we go and say, hey, Jennifer did this to me today? No, we don't say that. We bring each other together, love each other enough to have tough conversations. And these things might seem fundamental, but I ask you, are you doing them? Because if you know someone in your group that is telling you those things, I'm pretty sure they're talking about someone else, and they're talking about you. So you have to be aware, because the enemy will try to destroy. And Big businesses, big companies, homes, they usually come down from not the outside, but from the inside. And so protect your dream, because gossip and all those things, they break it down.
Absolutely. Hey, integrity. Gifts without integrity are a waste. As you start to build this business and you really look at how you do it by what you say you're going to do for people. And if you can't live by your word, this business is built on trust, right? So have integrity. But also the next one, as I've been praying and thinking, and as the last 8 years, how are, the people like Holly and Corbin, Kim, Samson, how are they super successful? And I've been really, really deeply thinking about this one. And this is the one word that I see missing from people that don't go really big, and it's intensity. Is Daniel intense? Absolutely. Is Kim intense when she's speaking? Absolutely. Is Michael Jordan intense? Absolutely. If you have intensity every day, you won't do this sometimes. You do it all the time. You won't have to be focused and consistent, because if you're intense, guess what? You're going to do it all the time. No one's going to have to remind you to get up and get to work. This is what entrepreneurs do every day. We're intense. We don't put our gifts and talents down every day or do it sometimes. We do it all the time. If you can go and learn this word and be intense and have intensity, it takes care of everything else. Focus, consistency, all the things. If you're intense at growing yourself, guess what? You're going to become more. So have intense in your work. The single thing I see the most is people have intensity in spurts. And I'm asking you today, if you really want to go to the next level, what did Hillary do when she locked herself in the closet for 2 days? She got intense about her dreams and her goals. This is the biggest word I see missing with a lot of leaders. They get stuck in places because they ain't intense enough. They have no intensity. They have it for an hour or two a day, but the high-level achievers have it all the time. And the next one, leadership. I mean, we're not going to go through all these, so I would tell you just to take a picture of this, but leadership is huge. What I see, what's wrong in this profession, a lot of times it's all me instead of we. And the leaders build the biggest organizations, they have the mindset of we, not me. And the three things that I teach people on my team is these. It's become more, because if you become more, you help other people become more. But also love others as you want to be loved, and serve relentlessly. If you do that as a leader, I don't see how you can't be successful in this profession. This profession is not really that hard to do. Find people in need and go help them. That's what leaders do. And they develop other leaders. The ones that want all the attention and they want all the accolades and they want, it's all pride driven. It's going to crumble. I've seen it many times in this profession. The ones that build the biggest, they're true leaders because they think of we.
Okay. Building authentic relationships. This is super easy for us because we just love people.
Yeah.
One thing I have to say, when I was watching that video, I get so emotional because, culture is built many ways. One is by having that solid foundation, right? You can't build a house on sand, and you can't build a team without culture. And God has aligned us with the most powerful leadership that's equally yoked, and we stand in agreement. We stand in agreement to create a culture of unity, love, and respect. And that's the rock that we stand on. And it's so powerful to go out and really just meet people on your team. This summer, we took 7 weeks, and it wasn't just Ricky and I. We took our whole family, and we drove all around the country. We drove all the way from Florida all the way up to the tip of Canada. What was that? Oh.
Made someone pass out.
Okay, I was really scared. To the tip of Canada, and then all the way back home, got our dog because we missed him a lot, and then drove all the way up to Wyoming and saw our Wyoming team, and traveled all out and saw our team, and really just met who they were, met their families, their husbands, built connections, real connections. Because for me at this point, it's like I want to attach my why to your why. And it makes a big difference. So maybe you don't have a big team and you're driving around the country right now, but maybe instead of sending a text, pick up the phone and call them. Like, how are you? How's life? It doesn't always have to be business. It needs to be more than that.
Amen. So, for sake of time, we're going to go to the next slide. So, everything you've seen in the last slide, we try to do every day, right? And we try to have our team and the culture built around that, but also the action that you see on this side together. And when you do, I don't believe you can build this business just one way and build a fantastic culture. You have to be in person, right?
Yes.
You got to be in the home, like Lauren said yesterday, but also three-way calls, live opportunity Zooms. I think all this is synergistic, and this together creates what we all want on the bottom. What is that? Momentum. Who doesn't want momentum in the room, right? So this is all we do every day. And for the sake of time, I'm going to go what I believe is the most important, because everything you've heard from us doesn't matter if you don't believe in yourself. And this is the second thing I asked God, what's the difference? And as you see, the knock. You know, what's the difference? How can a high school dropout go from a 200 square foot house, broke, no money in the bank, to sitting here? That's the thing. There's a lot of pain in this room. I know. I've talked to people on my team. Stuff that unimaginable. And I believe we become fragments of the pieces of who we should be. We're a mere self-image of ourselves from the pain we go through. But what I've seen from people that get victory are the people that don't hold on to it, because when you hold on to it, you just go to a higher level of pain. And as I think about my journey, you know, as what God has shown me in my spirit is reverse the curse. And I think there's a moment in everybody's life that something pivotal happens, and the only thing that really happens is you believed what someone said. And my mom didn't even know this. The past couple weeks I was talking to her about my upbringing, and she said, you know, I was dating this guy when you were 2 years old, and he said, that little kid, he'll be in jail one day. But I already knew what God put on my spirit to share with you, and it was confirmation. That guy was just delivering a message from the thief that knew my calling, and he was putting a curse on my life. How many people in here have been told what they couldn't do their whole life? Stand up. Show you how impactful this is. How many people grew up with a parent, a brother, a friend that told you wouldn't amount to anything? You might end up in jail. You can humble yourself. It's good. See, look around the room. I was one of them. All the way till I was 19 years old when the knock happened. My stepdad said I'd be in jail. My teacher said I would be nothing. Everybody put a curse on my whole life, right? And here's the thing. Most of you that stood up, including myself, believed it. And you're still walking around with it. But here's what happened. At 19 years old, a millionaire knocked on my door. And I answered the door. What happened in that moment? I believed him. He said, Ricky, you can be successful. And for the first time in my life, I believed that I could. And I'm telling you today, 7 months into this company, a special number, right? That God sent this high school dropout to be the knock today. A lot of you are sitting in this crowd because you're still holding on to the curses of your childhood. I'm no different than Kevin that knocked on my door. He was just sent by God to reverse the curse. And I mean this humbly. Nothing else matters if you don't believe this today. Every single thing that you can learn or put in your brain doesn't matter unless you believe what God is saying today. That every single curse is broken and that you can be successful too. All as I did from that day forward, every time it got hard, every time that I doubted myself, guess what? I remembered the knock. And that's what I want to put on your spirit today. Every single time it gets hard, every time that the thief tries to come and take your dream, it's up to you to remember the knock and reverse the curse. Each and every one of you have a spirit of the divine, the greatness inside of you. As Les Brown said, a piece of the masterpiece. Whew, that's powerful, right? But see, the curse that is put on us every day is to hold us back. Relationships, death, all of it is to hold you back from the greatness God has in store for you. We've been through hard times, but we always leaned on each other to know that we could. And Corbin and Holly and other people in our lives, Mylan, some great people. And all they did is reaffirm what I'm doing today is that I'm not cursed. I'm blessed and highly favored. So, as we go on this journey to build, I know we keep saying the biggest company in this profession, but I'm thinking way bigger than a company in this profession. Apple went out and built a $1 trillion company. Why not? Think bigger, faster. God's commissioned people in this room to go out and bless millions of lives in this profession, and we have the best products in the world. So here's what I'm going to ask you today as we close. The people that stood up, that are still living this curse, are you going to stand back up and believe that God has sent someone here today in the form of a high school dropout that was literally just had enough courage to believe that I could? There's people in this room I know that have way more gifts and talents than myself. I watch you daily, but I also watch you not use it. And I'm urging your spirit man to stop believing this lie of the enemy and to walk in your empowerment. So as we close out 2023, who in this room is going to find some energy, some intensity to go out and create your life that you're dreamed about? The single saddest thing I watch every day in this profession is people that have so much more inside of them. So I'm urging you, I'm praying for you that you stop sitting on your gifts and talents, you stop burying them in the backyard, and that you reverse the curse. Stay obsessed, be relentless. God bless you guys. Thank you. I love you.